Hello everyone, Gypsy Jet Rose coming to you with a little more in-depth message from the 1212 portal video from Monday 12/12/2022. The card that came out for that was the Orion activation card, Supernova, Recreation, Renewal, Rebirthed by Light. This was for the 1212 portal. That's the card that came out. And in the reading, the Orion activation made a reference to the Lemurians. And so it made a reference to page 103 to the Lemurians, which is this card here, Lemurian Seed Codes. And it says, embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, living with grace. So if you go back and watch the 1212 portal reading, it explains about the Orion activation, the Lemurian seed codes, but I want to go a little bit more in depth about the Orion activation because I wanted to do a little bit more in depth research on it. This is the research that we need to do. We need to go a little bit more in depth because there's more in depth to the messages sometimes. So going into the native aspect of these readings, because this is what I'm more familiar with, is more going into the native part, and because each civilization, there's the Greek, it goes into the Greek mythology of these star systems and stuff. It goes into the Egyptian star system, their translation and stuff. But I go into the native because that's what I'm drawn to. And so I found some stuff about the Orion's belt. And this is it's called North America Star Lore of the Dakota and Lakota by Judy Volker. And so it goes into the Ojibwe or Chippewa Native Americans call this constellation, now forgive me for pronouncing these because I know I'm probably not pronouncing them right, call this constellation Kababinokon, the winter maker, as its presence in the night sky heralds winter, which here where I live, we are in the winter solstice here, or coming into the winter solstice, but we are in winter in the northern hemisphere. And so also it says to the Lakota Native Americans, Tayamanakonku, Orion's belt, is the spine of a bison. The great rectangle of Orion is the bison's ribs. The Pleiades star clusters in nearby Taurus is the bison's head. And Sirius in Canis Major, known as Tyaminsinti, is its tail. Another Lakota story mentions that the bottom half of Orion, the constellation of the hand, represented the arm of a chief that was ripped off by the Thunder People as a punishment from the gods for his selfishness. His daughter offered to marry the person who could retrieve his arm from the sky. So the young warrior, Fallen Star, whose father was a star and whose mother was human, returned his arm and married his daughter, symbolizing harmony between the gods and humanity with the help of the younger generation. The index finger is represented by Rigel, the Orion Nebula is the thumb, and the belt of Orion is the wrist, and the star Beta Eridani is the pinky finger. So what really spoke to me on this is that the southern part of Orion symbolizes, so a Lakota, the Napi, or Napi, a Lakota about the southern part of Orion symbolizes the harmony between the gods and the people with the help of the younger generation. So that's the bottom half of Orion. It's called the Napi, and this is what's sticking out to me. This is the message that's sticking out to me, is that the harmony between the gods and the people with the help of the younger generation. The younger generation, the seventh generation, it is the passing down of this wisdom, it's the passing down of this knowledge. And this is what our ancestors, going all the way back to Lemuria, this is what this is what they have encoded. They have encoded into the crystals. They have encoded into the hieroglyphs. They have encoded into the passing down of the stories, the passing down of the knowledge and the wisdom, the passing down of the songs, the passing down of the truths of where we've come from, and it's the star. And the constellation Orion, known as the Hunter, is a southern constellation sitting below constellation Taurus and above constellation Leups, Leups. Orion spans nearly 20 degrees of the zodiac in the sign of Gemini and contains 13 named fixed stars. So last week we had the full moon in Gemini. So this is where Orion is coming in. We had the full moon in Gemini, and Orion is coming in. We're bringing in this recreation, this rebirth by light. We're bringing this in with the knowledge from the Lemurian seed codes that we have been activated, that's in our DNA system. And so the Lemurians was all about living in harmony, peace, honoring one another in nature. And they had this. They lived, the Lemurians, pretty much, they operated from their heart. It is all about our heart. It's embracing the sensitivity, uniqueness, and living with grace. The living with grace and our uniqueness. We bring our uniqueness out to the world. And so just know that your sensitivity, being sensitive to your surroundings, being sensitive to many things, like being sensitive to all the different foods that I've noticed so many different things. When I eat something, I can tell right away when it's not right. There's some ingredient in it that isn't right. And all I have to do is take a bite and I can tell. And I spit it out. I look at the package, I look at the ingredient, and sure enough, there's something in it that, well, I've seen that it was bioengineered. I can tell. And so going back to passing down the ways to the younger generation, well, I live in rural, I live in the country. I live in the country. My children were taught how to farm, how to garden, how to can, how to live off the land, basically. And I think a lot of kids that don't live in the country or don't have that knowledge, we need to pass this knowledge on. We need to keep this going and growing good foods, growing healthy foods, and stop the bioengineering of all of this stuff. And this is, the way if you look at what's happening in the world, look at what's happening all over. Mother Earth is telling us, that we're in this change process also. We can't stop the change. That's another thing, is that Mother Earth is going to change. She's going to change no matter what, and we can't stop it. We can't do anything about it. And we have to ascend as she ascends. We have to grow as she grows. And so as she ascends, we're ascending, but that's raising our vibration. She's raising her vibration. Mother Earth, she's raising her vibration very high. The vibration is going high, and we need to stay in this high vibration, knowing, seeing, and knowing what's happening around us. And so I just wanted to bring in a little bit more about the Orion, the native aspect of Orion. And that's what really stood out to me, is that part of the harmony between gods and the people with the help of our younger generation. They play a very important role. All of those beautiful starseeds that are being born, they're being born into this world, and they are of higher vibration. They are of a more higher vibration. They learn things faster. They see things a lot more than what maybe the ones that are older that don't see. And so passing on this knowledge and the wisdom is very important. That's what keeps coming through on all of that. So I just wanted to do just this quick little video on this Orion activation. I'll read about the Lemurian seed codes again. Lemuria was a civilization that was in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in ancient times. The inhabitants of the sacred land lived in complete harmony with nature and had a connection with every living being, similar to the movie Avatar. Their inner vision was fully activated, to the point where it is thought that their pineal gland was fully developed and they could see for hundreds of miles in every direction in a similar way to the sonar of dolphins and whales. The majority operated from their heart space, honoring one another and nature, so much that when their civilization came to an end through a cataclysmic event, most likely the plates of the earth shifting, causing volcanic eruptions and a tsunami, most of them ascended. It is said that these highly attuned beings knew that their civilization would end and decided to send healing waves into another part of the world for future civilizations to benefit from. They telepathically channeled their frequencies into a thought form that would become crystals that would be found thousands, possibly millions of years later. These Lemurian seeds are a type of quartz crystal mostly found in Brazil and Colombia. They are powerful crystals with striations similar to barcodes engraved on their faces. They have a feminine receptive energy that is said to help us step into a more feminine way of being in order to help the evolution of the species. We've lived under a patriarchal time for so long, and it is the matriarchal that is coming forth. The divine masculine and feminine energies, the masculine and feminine energies, the merging of the masculine and feminine energies, not only within our body, but within this world, within Mother Earth. And so we are highly sensitive. You might feel it as being cursed, but it's not. Don't feel that you're being highly sensitive to things as a curse. Don't feel that this is in any way, shape, or form, something bad, because it is a gift, and being sensitive in this world is what helps us. It navigates us through where we need to go. And so embrace your uniqueness, and you can now help many others embrace their own. And in this lifetime this lifetime is a more graceful existence with less defense and more trust. It's not about protecting yourself, but stepping into the space of surrender and revealing your true self. So bring out your true self. Don't be afraid to bring out your true self, your gifts and your talents. Don't be afraid to voice out something. And I'm talking like good, positive stuff. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about bashing and negative stuff. I'm talking good, positive stuff, because it is the positive that we put out there. What you put out returns back tenfold. And so being positive, looking from the higher perspective, being in truth, being in love, in the love from your heart, the Christ-like consciousness that comes through, the truth, walking the path of truth, walking the path of your true being, and walking the path of the light, the Christ-like consciousness, walking the path of the love, the unity, the balance, the peace, and the harmony, treading lightly on Mother Earth, and knowing that we have a voice, and one voice and many voices come together to become one voice. Many voices come together to speak the truth. Many voices come together to bring forth the peace, the love, the balance, and the harmony. That's the message that I keep coming. It's like I see a flame, and it's like one flame lights another flame, and then that flame lights another flame, and another flame, and it just keeps going, and it keeps going. The more we have the one flame ignites all the other flames to become this big, huge flame of united, to be united. I mean, you can be a sovereign being. We are all sovereign beings. We're all walking this path. We are all walking it on our own, but then we have all these others that are on the same path of reaching the same goal, seeing the same light, seeing the same ascension, seeing the same. It's about love, peace, balance, and harmony. It's about the wisdom of the stars, and that's what keeps coming through. So I just wanted to go a little bit more deeper into that. So watch the 1212 portal video, and this is just an extended version of it. So have a good week, have a good rest of the day, and I will bring forth more messages as they come. Thank you for liking, watching, and subscribing. I'm thankful and grateful for each and every one of you. Peace and love, Gypsy Jet Rose.